What if I told you that the best way to grow your business is actually not to prioritize your student clients, but actually to prioritize yourself? That you can be more successful the more you prioritize your own needs than if you try to meet everybody else's needs. That's kind of controversial, isn't it? I'm going to break down exactly what I mean by this, and actually 3 different areas in your business that you can practice being more yourself and prioritizing yourself and not your clients. And I'm going to give you some examples for exactly how to do that. Sound pretty good? Let's dig in. I can't believe that I have been coaching people how to start their businesses for over a decade now. And I have seen a lot of folks go out there, most of whom have been very successful in creating exactly the right sized coaching business that they needed in order to accomplish whatever they wanted in their lives, whether that's transition to retirement or have a nice little side gig, or maybe completely transition careers from inside schools to outside of schools. Anyway, in all of these transitions over the years, I have noticed that the more yourself you can be, the more successful your business becomes. But gosh, what does that even mean to be yourself? And how can you even do that in the different layers that you have to work on in order to get a business up and running, right? That's a lot of work. And in today's video, I noticed that as I was thinking about this, there are 3 areas inside business building where you have lots of opportunities to prioritize yourself, which means being in touch with who you truly are and what you truly want, and to actually build a structure of a business based on that and not your clients, right? And that might even, for those of us who are service providers and educators or service providers, that might even be shocking. I get to prioritize myself and not the students that I work with, but will I even be a good coach if I do that? And the answer is absolutely yes, you will. But let's look at these different areas and let's actually discover what I mean and why you'll be a better coach if you do prioritize yourself. We're going to look at the administrative world, we're going to look at the marketing world, and then at the very, very end, if you stay till then, we will talk about the actual content that you're coaching and how you can be more yourself with that as well. All right, so administratively, how can you prioritize yourself in these 3 areas? First, let's look at schedule. A lot of folks, and even I at the very beginning of my coaching practice, just assumed like, kids are only available after 3:30. So I'm just going to have to coach from 3:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. Or I don't want to coach on this particular night because my own kids have stuff they have to do that night that I want to participate in, but I guess I have to sacrifice that, right? I hear that a lot. Like whenever you notice yourself in that passive victim, like, oh, I guess I have to, there's no choice, right? Actually, there is a choice. It is really hard to learn how to just say, my schedule is my schedule. This is when I'm available. It's what works for me. And if you, the potential client paying me money, aren't available at this time, well, then you can go elsewhere. And I have other wonderful coaches and inside this community that I'm a member of that I can refer you to. It's such a hard skill because we're so desperate for, oh my God, here's an opportunity. Here's an opportunity. I can't let it go, right? But what habits do we want to be building early on as we're transitioning from a job that holds structure for us to our own business where we have to hold our own structure? And so if you don't learn early on how to prioritize yourself, you are going to do what happened with me, where I got really stressed out and really burnt out because I was trying to help everybody else before I helped myself early on in my business. And one reason that I created the Rock Your Biz program is because I want you all to get up and running a lot faster than I got up and running, with fewer mistakes and more joys and successes than I had. Like, I'm doing well now, but it took me a long time to get here. And one of those reasons is because I was prioritizing students over myself right away with schedule. Another thing that we often do is we worry about, well, like, what can I get away with charging? Rather than looking very specifically at, what do I need? I've seen new coaches start, some very low, some extraordinarily high prices. The ones who are high, we're looking at their own life. One in particular I'm thinking of has a very specific illness that meant that she could only see fewer clients. And so she just had to charge more in order to meet her own energy needs and be able to meet students' needs as well. So again, that was her prioritizing her health and her needs around prices. And lo and behold, there were folks out there who wanted to pay those prices. So looking at your own personal needs and starting there can be a really wonderful thing, rather than trying to second guess, what will people pay? Because the truth is, there are people who will pay as low as you want to go and as high as you want to go. The third thing to be thinking about is policies. How can you prioritize yourself in your not late fees, that's not what I'm talking about, like cancellation, if people want to cancel, or if people want a refund, or if they want to cancel the appointment that they made with you this week, how many hours notice do they want to give you? There are so many different policies. Well, and I should have said, do you want them to give you, right? Because we're prioritizing you, not them. And just thinking that through right away and being very clear, this is what will feel best to me. I used to not have any cancellation policy, and I ended up not liking that. And I even changed it to 48 hours at one point, or I changed even to package structures instead of hourly pricing, because if somebody canceled, I was like, oh, well, they paid for that regardless, because it's a package. And so I didn't have to worry that I was out some money because somebody canceled. And then I added office hours as a way to account for that every week. If you want to hear more about office hours, by the way, I realize I probably at some point could make some more videos, but for right now, go to gretchenwegner.com/live. That's my Q&A that I do, my monthly free Q&A, and just put in there, I'd like to come and I'd like to hear more about how you do office hours with your clients, and I'll be happy to share in that context. Okay. So administratively, these are the 3 ways that you can prioritize yourself. The next thing to look at is, how can you prioritize yourself even in your marketing? So one way is in your bio. How do you actually, don't just be general. Don't just be professional. I did this for a while. Like, I was a teacher for X number of years and then I did this. But how can you actually notice, like, what's special about you? What are your interests? Your professional interests, but also your personal interests. What is your history? There's another video in this series where we look more at how experiences you had when you were younger actually shape the kind of coach you want to be, and actually telling those more vulnerable stories. Let that be in your bio. The more brave you can be being yourself in your marketing and prioritizing your life experience rather than hiding it, the more people will connect to you more quickly. And then here in your descriptions of your services, how can you also connect those descriptions? We do want to be results oriented. We do want to think about our families, who we are working with and what results they're going to get. But we also want to include ourselves in our descriptions and not hide ourselves away. So that's a way you can prioritize yourself. In our marketing strategy too, so many people come to me saying, oh, Gretchen, I don't want to do social media, or, oh, I hate marketing. And one of the things I've learned as I move along here, and I'm growing my own marketing skills all the time, is that the more joyful we can be in our marketing strategies, the more it can be connected to actions that we truly just love to do anyway, the easier and the better marketing works out. And then we can get that steady stream of clients coming in. Similarly, that's related to the quality of the relationships we build. And one of the things, just as an example, I've noticed I'm doing is when someone reaches out to me to, ask me questions, like you, whoever's watching this video, you might reach out to me to inquire about whether my Rock Your Biz program is the right program for you. And I love to sleuth out what are your interests. And if there are interests that I have in common with you, to have in our email exchange together to not just talk business, right? But to talk personal. So there was somebody who reached out the other day. Again, maybe that's you who's watching. And I noted, because she has a website already, I noted that she loves to go camping. And I was like, oh my goodness, camping. I love to camp. And so we were able to have a dual conversation, both about the business question she'd reached out about, but then also about favorite places to go camping. And that's just more joyful, right? I love talking about those things. So even in our marketing, we can prioritize ourselves. Stay to the very end, and we're actually going to talk about coaching content too, and how the very things that we teach during our academic coaching sessions can either hide our true selves or allow our true selves to blossom. All right. So a second ago when I mentioned my free office hours, did you sign up for it? If not, I want to give it to you again, gretchenwegner.com/live. Depending on when you are listening to this video, we are coming upon a new year. And it is a time that if you have been considering starting your business, now is a wonderful time to do it. People I notice who start in January have more energy and have more dedication because they're like, this is the year I'm going to get this done. I'm going to make this transition happen. And so now, which happens to be the month of November 2022, is a great time to come in and join the community and see if you can get inspired to get your business going in January. If you're listening to this video later, there's going to be another office hours available. So just go to that website, gretchenwegner.com/live, and see when the next one is. But be brave, step out, come and learn what it's like to hang out in my community and practice being yourself while you are doing that. Also, little favor, please like and subscribe, comment below, do all the things. It super helps me out. And I don't know if you've noticed, but I've started adding these particular videos for edupreneurs, educators who want to have their own businesses. And it's a lot of work. And so if you want to show me that you're appreciating the second video a week, and I should keep on investing my time and energy, please give me some love with those likes and subscribes. It really does make a difference. And I am also working towards a very specific goal right now. Maybe my special YouTube person will even put a chart right here about how well we're doing with that goal. And thank you in advance for your generosity in liking and subscribing. Okay, it's the end of the video. And the third area where you can be more yourself is in the content that you coach. I noticed early on as I was teaching my anti-boring approach to other educators, that they were feeling like they had to be like me, copy me, little mini Gretchens, teaching the study cycle or the study senses or all of the different mini lectures that I have. And I was and still am pretty adamant, no. You do want to follow my recipe at the beginning because that's a great way to learn a recipe, but it's very important that it feels authentic to you and that you can make it your own. And so many educators who come through my world, you come in with expertise that's all your own. Expertise that I don't have, that dovetails so nicely with the anti-boring toolkit you learn from me. And so really embracing yourself, your experience, your expertise, your desire, your callings. Many people who come into my program start learning how to be an academic coach, and then they discover something deeper. that's even more exciting to them than academic coaching, and they resist it for a while because they're like, oh no, I came here to be a coach. But it's like, no, follow that calling, follow that desire. The more yourself you can be, the more successful your business will be, and again, the more joyful you will be in your business, and therefore more joyful your clients will be with you. So, and that's the last one, really follow your intuition. Now, there are times when intuition is actually a sign, or what we think is intuition, I should say, is a sign that there is an old story that we've been told that we need to let go of. But it feels true, and so we call it our intuition. And so sometimes we do need a little support, and that's why I often invite people to come join my community and build your business in the container of community, because we can help you discern sometimes when is that little voice and intuition calling you even deeper into being more of yourself at work. And when is that little voice actually maybe the opposite of an intuition that's limiting your ability to be more of your full self? And we can figure that out together. It's a wonderful, wonderful part of my job is to support you in discovering how amazing you really are, and then turning that into a way to support yourself and your family financially. So I hope that this was a helpful video for you, and I hope selfishly that I get to meet you sometime, maybe at one of the live office hours or maybe in one of the community calls inside my program. But for now, take good care.